Here we go.
And to our listening ears,
We're going.
all angels sing and round us ring, so sing on the streets. It's Sunday school.
Brothers, sisters, siblings, welcome to Penn Sunday School, starring Penn Gillette. My name is Michael Godot. Matt Donnelly, Reddy Rich, Penn, and I are broadcasting from our separate homes in Las Vegas. For my son's 21st birthday, he's decided he's an adult and he's gonna swear. We've seen a few Zoom magic shows that Alden Alden doesn't know much about Penn, and we've got a few more Fool Us recaps. Here he is, preach and love, Mr. Penn Gillette.
How are you all doing? How are you all doing? So, yeah, preach and love. Now, we're all trying to work. Yesterday, Zabrecky did a show. You watched it, right, Godot?
I saw it last night. Yeah, fantastic job. You
Watched
guys
the whole show? What was the whole show?
There was a guy played piano. Zabrecky did a few magic tricks. Michael Carbonaro and another fella that I didn't know did a great version of the needle trick. It was really neat, really fun show. Puddles did some singing.
And who was it for? How was it advertised?
I don't know. It turned out it was a lot of the magic community. You know,
It was
all
for
of
the
our
public?
friends. I believe it was also for the public.
Well, Zabrecky's great. I love Zabrecky.
Zabrecky's great.
And he asked us to do this show, and we took a trick that we wrote 40 years ago called hand stab, back from when we didn't know that you shouldn't title a trick with the punchline and the method. We now title tricks more carefully because once you say, now we're going to do hand stab, people go, oh, really? And we did that, and we did it for the Wrong Boys, show that goes wrong, or goes wrong show, and we did it for them on a Zoom thing, and so we did it here too, and it's really it feels like a brand new trick. You know, it's a different kind of. It's kind of like Teller doing the trick and me heckling.
Yeah.
And it works really well. But what's really amazing to me is we had Tech at 1. Then we had 2 shows, one at 6, one at 9. And those shows were 5 minutes long. And I did them sitting in this chair. I put on a Penn and Teller suit, no, I didn't. I put on a shirt and vest, and I was naked from the waist down, as I am now. And I did the trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous all day, and I was looking at my day going, oh, man, I'm booked the whole day. It's 1 o'clock tech, 6 o'clock show, 9 o'clock show. Now, this is an amount of work that 6 months ago would not have even made it into my schedule. Oh, yeah, I got to sit down and do the gag with Teller. Great.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we've changed. Now, have you done any Zoom shows, Godot?
I have not done any Zoom shows.
Any live shows?
No, no live shows either. The live show that I had ended up being canceled. So, are all.
Now, you've done both, right, Matt?
I've not performed any Zoom shows, but I've done Zoom workshops for business improvisations where I taught at a business school.
And how'd that work?
I mean, it was interesting. You know, one is that they were East Coast business schools, and so I had to get up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning to do them. And what's fun is that my class figured that out. They're like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Vegas." And they're like, "And you? So you got up at 3:30 for us?" I'm like, "Yep." So you better pay attention. You know, one of the things with the program though is about like how to have effective conversation without being, feeling like you're pulling tactics or being dishonest. Like how to actually bring your authentic self into effective conversation speak. And so you do this in different phases, different exercises. And so to do yes and like you would, but you're trying to make sure that they're actually meaning it. They're trying to mean the words and not just go through it like an exercise and just have a real conversation about it. Well, not my class, but a friend of mine's class. They came back from that exercise, and they said, and after they were going through the breakdowns and the takeaways and everything else, someone said, "Can we just do that again?" And the instructor was like, "Well, we have other exercises, but like, what's going on? Did something not work?" They go, "No, we all just started going to school with each other, and we haven't gotten to know each other. There's been no social events where we were meeting each other, and I was really enjoying actually talking to someone and getting to know my fellow student." And I was like, "Oh my god, that is like crazy to think about." They're like, "We just were so happy just to be talking to one person and really getting to know them was really nice." And I was like, "This is gonna be this. We're gonna look back on this, and it's gonna be so much crazier than we even think it is now." I think.
And there is, without a doubt, permanent damage.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I'm having a hard time with the kids. I have a kindergartner and a first grader, so I'm on a school clock, and that makes me anxious as shit. Like I don't like like I'm the one counting down till the break as with my kid. I'm the one can't wait till Friday with my kid. And then I think about people with children like your age, Penn, and I'm like, oh my god, if their grades actually counted, like if I was sitting there doing this, and what I did in my little playroom with my kid mattered into like what classes they could get into or colleges they could into, I would be having a meltdown. I can't imagine with older children and this environment where it really matters what you're turning in and doing.
What you've just said is when someone has an ailment and you say to them, "Oh, Jesus, if I went blind, I'd just kill myself." My answer to you, Matt, is yes. Worst thing in the world.
So yeah.
And your children can't make friends.
Yeah. I mean, literally, like, so what happens is like when the teacher's glitching or whatever, and the teacher goes, "Oh my gosh, I gotta come out and come back in," the kids rush to the microphone, turn on the microphone, and go like, "Hey, Joey, hey, Haley, hey," and they just can't believe they're getting to just chat with each other.
Or they don't do that,
Right.
and that's worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's whoever's saying that this pandemic is nothing but good, I have a disagreement.
There must be someone.
But yeah, so that was a fascinating thing. What weird for me as a corporate teacher is normally you gather with your teachers in the hallways in between sessions when we're all crammed in a hotel together. After a session, you just quickly defrag, make some adjustments, go back in. The end of the day, everybody's meeting back at the hotel lobby, grabbing a cup of coffee or whatever, and just going over everything. And when you're doing that on Zoom, that's not helpful at all. There's no defragging. You're still presenting yourself for camera. You still can't talk to one person individually that you haven't seen in a while. You can't. And so it just becomes another Zoom obligation. So
Right.
I was literally spent 11 out of 12 hours on Zoom, and I was like just
Right.
destroyed. It took me days.
And I also said this to my wife, and Emily went, oh my God, that's the most frightening thing. And it's exactly true. I said, the problem we're having, and this was referring to every problem we're having, is that there's no resets. This has all been one day. It's one 6-month day. Because when you're interacting in the world, I have a disagreement with my son. He goes to school. It doesn't matter if school is good or bad or indifferent. He comes back a different person.
Right.
Right.
I have my supper with my family. I go off and do a show. When I come back at 11:30, there's a reset.
Yeah.
If my wife and I, whatever relationship we had over supper is different when I come home.
Yeah.
She goes out and plays golf. When she comes back, things are different.
Yeah.
We have not had a reset in our family this whole time.
Wow.
Oof.
Every conversation that started March 13th is still continuing.
Yeah, I took a couple of days and went told you guys earlier, camping with Matt King. And we drove in 2 separate cars and set up 2 separate tents.
See that whole thing, the camping thing, that would be 2 tents for me.
Oh yeah, we're back.
Boom,
We're back.
boom,
Best
boom,
comedy podcast. I hope you guys are listening. I hope you're ready to put us up.
boom, 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 boom.
I quit.
You're not kidding, like we've been dealing between the school and then my father-in-law and his ordeal.
His
We
ordeal
really-
being dying.
He died.
That's- yeah.
Dying and then
That's an ordeal. That qualifies.
indeed. I believe I was using the proper word. We just talked about finally just getting a cabin, like a driving distance isolated cabin, and just talking about.
Well, I
it
know
made us-
why you had to get a cabin,
Yeah.
because to do something else would be 2 tents.
Oh, callback, guys. For those of you who don't know comedy, that's a callback in the business.
If you're 2 tents short, I've got them.
Wait a
No, not quite.
Uh-oh. We just
Uh,
lost the award.
Talk about getting a cabin.
Yeah, and just talking about it made us so emotional. Like we started like tearing up. The idea of like not being in our house and like going somewhere else, and
North
You
Rim of the
know.
Grand Canyon has some cabins.
yeah,
Go up there.
we were This one just has particularly like it literally is
4-hour
like,
drive.
It's this one's about a 4 or 5 hour drive, and it was like it has Wi-Fi. So we're like, if we're gonna do virtual school, let's maybe spend some time doing virtual school somewhere else. and
Well,
just-
my family is doing that right now. Emily wanted to go hang out with Tony Shea.
yeah,
Outdoors, fully masked and everything. So they went to Park City, Utah,
right.
Mhm.
because they have a nice house with Wi-Fi and moose in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, my wife, and my 2 children are in Utah for 4 days. Well, that's not true. Emily said they were coming back Saturday at the absolute latest. That's to say yesterday. Glenn said to me, on Wednesday, when are they coming back? And I said, without hesitation, Tuesday. But they're in Utah, and it really is a reset for them.
Yeah.
And I'm here walking around alone, talking to mourning doves, talking to my son's bearded dragon. Good morning, Beardo. How are you? Would you like some crickets? Needless to say, the dogs are not here.
Yeah.
I said I would stay home alone. I would not stay home alone with the dogs.
That's a
If
fine
I were home
negotiation.
alone with the dogs, it would turn into Macaulay Culkin. Home alone. I'd be setting mouse traps.
That would be great. I got a paint can. Come here, buddy.
And then there's like a 3-day of kind of like a showcase, an idea of this thing called Salvage City, where you would drive, you would basically purchase a table for a show, and you drive into a parking space where there's a table and chairs there in your own parking spaces, and it's all spread across this big industrial lot. And in the middle was an elevated stage, and then a couple of like lit stages around, and basically and kind of like a circus variety show happened around you. And food was included and brought to the table. Drinks were included and brought to the table by masked people. And I was an usher. I was writing people's table number on their windshield and messing them a little bit as they were coming in for 3 days. And the looks on people's faces to be at kind of like a guiltless activity, like they were like out in a way that they felt safe and not even felt bad about even saying they were out. Regardless of the show's quality, the show quality was good, but regardless of the show quality, people were just so excited. The looks on people's faces to be out at an event where they didn't have to.
What were the shows?
It was, they had the some mic'd up, comedians doing crowd work, in character. They had some acrobats, jugglers. At one point, these industrial garages opened up, and they had a simultaneous pole acts happening in these 3 garages. It was really neat looking.
Who was doing it?
Brett Pfister directed it, and
Is he one of the absent guys?
no, he was in the the Misbehave game show, playing the part of
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tiffany. Yeah. And then Asher from Opium and hosted Magic Mike were the two clowns, and then there's a bunch of
And how many people do they have?
in the show.
Audience members.
Audience members, there's about 20 to 25 cars each night. And you can have up to 4
What are they
people in it.
paying?
Well, this was a showcase thing, so I don't know what the ticket price was. But I did. So someone told me that they did get picked up for a possible run at a casino here to do shows in a parking lot. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But at least conceptually, it was neat to see people embracing the circumstances and still trying to come away with a way to pull off.
And everybody was, they stayed with the rules, right?
Yeah, everyone stayed with the rules, and if you left your
Because
car,
there was that drive-in in Jersey
yeah.
where the people went up and gathered around the stage.
Oh, no. That was not the case with that. Yeah, no, that would be frustrating. No, in fact, actually was great was that they were very clear about the rules at all. Like, if you leave your parking space, you should be in a mask. And if you have to use the restrooms or anything, like there was coned off walkways to enter and to exit a different direction, and it was all masked up, and they were very cautious and very clear about it. And now that, again, all that did was help. All that did was make people feel good about what they were doing.
Sure.
When
I was in LA, occasionally, Piff will write me a note and say, want to get apart tonight. Instead of get together.
Yeah.
He comes over and we sit 20, Goodall's done this too.
Yeah.
We sit 20 feet apart, no masks, outdoors with wind, and we talk.
Yeah.
So when I went to LA, I thought, well, maybe I can, see some of my Stooges buddies, some of the idiots that live in LA. So I invited the usual idiots, and they all said, "What are you, crazy?" And then Handsome Jack came out to where I was staying, and we tried to go outside on the marina and sit like 20 feet apart without masks and chat.
Yeah.
And it was awful. There was no comfortable place to sit. And then a man unmasked came over and screamed at me.
Jesus.
He was, mentally ill, but not wearing a mask, and big and loud and aggressive, came over and said, "You don't give a fuck what I'm thinking, do you? You don't give a fuck. You think I'm crazy," and close to me without a mask. And I just said,
was he wrong? Was he wrong?
No, everything he said was accurate.
Nostradamus. Turns out it was Nostradamus.
But it was, I wouldn't do that again.
That's scary. No, that's really.
You should go camping. It's
around.
really
Yeah,
a
but
nice thing.
If I went with someone else, I think it would just be 2 tents.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know if we were gonna hit the rule of threes, but boy,
So what was it like camping with Mac King?
It was
I hope that
delightful.
Mac King appreciates that I'm the only one that says his name right.
Yeah, I think he does.
I do full stop. Mac King.
Mac
two
King.
sounds.
Camping with Mac King is delightful. He's very good at social distancing. You can sit on either side of a fireplace away from him. He's happy to drive his own car. It was a very nice time.
And did
We
you
hiked
cook
along
there?
the north rim of the Grand Canyon. I had prepared food before we left home. I had to boil noodles and then pour, spaghetti sauce on top of it. But that was the extent of the cooking. That and whole wheat pancakes with blueberries in the morning.
And you stayed there one night?
Yeah.
And how far did you hike?
3 or 4 miles. Not terribly
And
far.
how close together were you in hiking?
Not very, 10 feet. And we had
And-
masks.
You had masks too?
We had masks with us, yeah. And we wore them a lot of the time. It was a really great reset. The north rim of the Grand Canyon is beautiful this time of year. It was cool. It wasn't hot. It was really nice.
Was there a lot of tourism there? Because I feel like a lot of people are like road tripping like crazy right now.
It was not very crowded. There were people there, but it wasn't very crowded.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It was
Now,
really good.
your son, Joey,
yeah,
turned
21 years old. 21 years
Now,
old.
you have to tell us a little bit more about Joey in case people don't listen to the show every
Right.
week.
high functioning, autistic, 21-year-old kid. Uh, Homeschooled his whole life. So, like what you guys are talking about, a lot of schooling. Very good at hanging out. He's in the other room right now working on Lego trains. He's building a Lego train that he got for his birthday. A couple of weeks before his 21st birthday, he came and he said, 21, I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to swear a lot more. Don't know how he got this into his head. But my genius wife went out and found like a banner that says happy fucking birthday. So while he was asleep, we got out and put the sign up. He got up in the morning and it said happy fucking birthday. And he laughed a lot. And since then has been swearing in every single sentence that he says.
Is it mostly fucking, or is he have?
Yeah, it's mostly fucking. But he texted me. When I was out camping with Mac, I have a spotting scope, like a telescope, and I texted him to say I can see 4 of Jupiter's moons tonight, and his response was "Holy shit."
It sounds less like he's practicing and more like he's kept it pent up.
It does seem like he's fell right into it. Just everything
instantly well practiced.
Yeah. And we, tried to get him to drink a beer for his 21st birthday.
Oh yeah.
He went in, he took one tiny sip and just went, this is fucking awful. I've never had another fucking beer. He said, it tastes stingy.
Oh.
What? It tastes stingy?
Stingy.
That was his description of what beer tastes like.
Well, you know what Bob Dylan says? His description of beer is a bottle of bread.
Yes.
If only it tasted as good as bread.
I've never tasted it.
Yeah, it is not good. Not good. But he and I have been doing pretty well. We've made some breakthroughs lately. You've hung out with him. He tends to perseverate on a topic. I'm sure that he's in the middle of a conversation with you right now. And if he walks up to you right now, he's got specific things that he's asked you before that he wants to ask you. Yeah. Continue right in the same conversation. And so
he's interested in my electric car.
Very, very much. And that's what he wants to talk about. And if he meets you, he will pick up exactly where he left off on the electric car thing the last time he spoke to you. But recently I discovered that he knows song lyrics, but he doesn't really recognize them as sentences or stories. And so one of the things we're doing now in the car is we will play whatever song he wants to listen to, and we'll go through every single line. We'll stop at the end of every line and tell him what that said, and then ask him what he thinks that means.
The sun will come out tomorrow. What does that mean?
Yeah, very good. But he's never had those types of conversations.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
this is fantastic. And he loves it. And we run through, Margaritaville and laugh about it and talk about the words from Margaritaville. And there are nuances of language that he hasn't.
So you can teach him that you could cut your foot in a pop top.
Yeah. But he hasn't thought about it in any way that goes, oh, right. So he stepped on a pop top and cut his foot. For him, it's just like a word, like just words coming out. They don't mean anything.
So the imagery of the poetry doesn't come easily to him.
Does not at all. Doesn't at all. And there's some of it that is, idiomatic. We were rolling the bones several hours is a line from a Jimmy Buffett song. And he doesn't, rolling the bones. What does that mean? And it's really fun to sit and run through these and talk about them. And
You let me know when he gets to Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan.
I know. I'm going to let him get in your electric car, and you guys can try to figure that out.
The rag man draws circles up and down the block. I'd ask him what the matter was, but I know that he don't talk. We can work together on that.
Yeah. And now you know why we're doing Jimmy Buffett songs.
Lay on Grand Street where the neon madmen fly, that all lie there so patiently. Yeah.
There you go. See, like I said,
Also, he might like margaritas more than beer. I don't know if you want to try that.
No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna skip it. Any more of that?
You want to take him through Tom Joad or one of those there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take him through. Well, if I take him through Born to Run, he'll just leave. He'll just leave you. I just want to get out of town. Every story's about just get the hell out of town.
Strap your hands, cross my engines, Joey. So, when's the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With Quip's new smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn you great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. But it's Quip toothbrushes. We absolutely love them. You probably heard us talk about Quip a million times, but there is something brand new that rewards you and your mouth. The Quip Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth. Track when and how well you brush, get tips and coaching to improve your habits, earn points for daily brushing and bonus points for completing for challenges like streaks, redeem for rewards like free products, gift cards, and discounts from Quip and partners. If you already have a Quip, you can upgrade with a smart motor and keep the features you know and love. Sensitive sonic vibrations, 2-minute timers, 30-second breakdowns, slim, lightweight, and sleek with no wires or bulky chargers. Multi-use travel cover. Talk about that, Godot.
That's the greatest travel cover in the world. You could take it, your toothbrush sits inside it, keeps your toothbrush clean, and then it takes it off, and it's because it's silicone, it sticks directly to your mirror. You can hang your brush right on the mirror.
Quip has everything you need to build a complete routine. Mint or watermelon toothbrush. It's really good with anti-cavity ingredients for strong, healthy teeth. Floss that expands to clean. It comes in a refillable dispenser to reduce waste. It's all eco-friendly, solar battery charger, all sorts of good stuff. Plus, you can get brush head toothpaste and floss refills delivered from $5 and shipping is free. How smart is that? Join over 5 million mouths who use Quip and save hundreds compared to other Bluetooth brushes when you get a Quip Smart Brush for just $45. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today and go to getquip.com/Penn.
And there,
Slash Penn. Yes, Penn.
Penn.
Oh,
That's your first refill free at getquip.com/Penn.
Penn.
man.
GETQUIP.com/Quip.
PENN.
Better oral health made simple and rewarding. As we slowly adjust to a new normal, we still need to be smart about how we do business. Luckily, there's stamps.com to make things easier. Thousands of small business owners have discovered the benefits of stamps.com in recent months. They've been able to keep their businesses running and avoid the crowds at the post office, all from their own computers. Stamps.com, they've been with us forever. We love them so much. It's a great, great, great company. With stamps.com, you get to print postage on demand and avoid going to the post office. And you'll save money with discounted rates you can't even get at the post office. If you wanted to go to the post office, which you don't want to do, it still would be better to use stamps.com. And on top of all this, they offer UPS services with discounts up to 62% and no residential surcharges. If you use UPS ever, you know those residential surcharges are really, really important. Everything you've ever gotten from anybody on this podcast, whether Godot with Barbecue Zoo, or Matt with any of his ice cream
I have
soaps.
too much going on. Too much going on.
Yeah. With any of that stuff, it all gets sent by stamps.com. Everything we sent out for Director's Cut, like 10,000 pieces of mail, all stamps.com. Just fabulous. Like I said, with stamps.com, you get great discounts too. 5 cents off every stamp, up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Stamps.com, it's a no-brainer, saving you time and money. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in
Penn.
at stamps.com, enter.
Penn.
PNN.
Yeah, if DeJoy had heard our stamps.com ad, he would know something about the post office he's running. So you guys watched my buddies, the Wrong Boys, with
Yeah.
the show that goes wrong, huh?
Oh,
It's just
How
fantastic.
good are they?
They're the
On
best.
Amazon Prime. And, like,
Did you watch all of them, Matt?
I think I got through 4 episodes so
six.
far. I think I've
Did you watch them
Yeah.
all, Guido?
No, I'm on number 2 right now. Halfway through number 2. But these guys, they do not miss a single gag.
no.
Every gag that can possibly be done, they do it.
Which
It's
show did you see,
fantastic.
Guido?
The first one with the lodge.
Oh, The Lodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really fantastic.
I don't know if that's the first one because the order that it puts them in seems to be not consistent.
Oh,
But you watched The Lodge there, Matt?
Yeah. So if you go to Amazon Prime now, the first episode they put up is The Lodge. The second episode is the pilot. Parentheses, not the pilot. Just the play called The Pilot.
But you have
I love
not
the message.
seen 90 Degrees yet.
not
No.
yet.
The last one I saw was they announced at the top of the episode that the person who built the stage used centimeters instead of inches, so that it had a courtroom drama in a tiny court set.
When you guys see, you will text me. Don't even wait for Sunday school. When
Yeah.
you watch 90 Degrees, you will text me. It's the most brilliant thing you ever saw.
I
I will watch it today.
And I don't need to tell you all this. When you see it, you'll know it. But Jonathan, who we know as the little one,
yes.
Wrong Boys, Jonathan said the most miserable day of his life. And Henry and Shields jumped in with, oh, no doubt about it. You will see 5 people suffering like you've rarely seen in comedy. I mean, you will look at this and go, oh, God, I can't. Oh. And there is a couple of juggling moves in 90
Wow.
Degrees. You'll see Dave make a catch that will kill you, Guido. And the crowd goes crazy with the catch. But The Lodge, how great is the scene of Get Out
Yeah, all of it.
with Jonathan and Shields yelling at each other. Get out.
Yeah.
No, don't get out. Say get out. No, get out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What's
Yep.
it? They've so
And
much
the deer.
verbal play. They do vocabulary. The show was running short, so we added more adjectives and adverbs to lengthen the time.
Yeah.
And that just pays off intermittently. Like you forget about it, comes back.
And Henry's evil laugh when things aren't working.
Yes.
One of the greatest comedy moments ever. He walks the whole set 3 times
Yeah.
doing an evil laugh, not being able to get off the set.
Yeah, looking for an exit. Yeah. It's really fantastic.
And it is just like, it's perfect. We're 6 months into the pandemic. And so like we just want candy before we go to bed, right? Like you just want. So the wife and I just put on one of those, and it is like, oh, good. We're just.
I
smiling
watched
ear
with
to
my
ear.
whole family,
Yeah.
and we were screaming,
Yeah,
laughing.
that's the thing. I think we're gonna watch them with rewatch them with our boys. I think it is.
Yeah, they'll
actually
love that. They
fun
will
for
love
the
that.
fam.
But when you watch 90 Degrees, you will say to yourself, you just tell me which parts you'd want to do in that. Because you watch it and you're laughing and you're spending a lot of time laughing going, I'm so glad this isn't me. Did you watch any of them, Reddy?
I was unaware.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway, to make it very clear, it's on Amazon Prime and it's called The Goes Wrong Show.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit intellectually about it. It's really interesting in that it's sketch comedy where the people doing it are not the actors. The characters, and you don't know this yet, Godot, the characters continue every show.
Oh, nice.
And that
Yes.
is fascinating.
I
So
love that
the
part.
Oh, so
character that Henry's
yeah.
playing that does the actor role in the lodge will be the same character who's
Okay.
the actor in 90 Degrees.
Right.
So you get to know, you get to know that Jonathan is incredibly stupid and can't do anything.
Right.
You get to know that Dave loves to get reactions from the audience and break the fourth wall, which the other actors don't like him doing.
Yeah.
You get to know that Shields is the director. So he's exasperated in his own way.
Right. So it's about a cast trying to do a variety of shows.
It's the same cast
Yeah.
in repertory doing these shows on TV
That's
for a live audience.
Yeah, you're right. It's secretly a sitcom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underneath it. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
get to learn that their tensions are constant.
Yeah.
And unlike Monty Python, they don't play all the female roles themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And
They're fantastic women in it. Yeah.
they are so good.
Oh, the one where is the pilot. So the
It's
guy
not the pilot.
not the pilot episode, but
It's called the pilot.
the pilot. There's a woman filling in for a guy who hasn't showed up yet. His dad was supposed to play a role, and she plays the role for him. And so the gags on that where she has to shower and change. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And they use Dave's body for her body. when
Yes.
she's showering and shaving. And they use mirrors to pop in place of the faces. And
I mean, it's just so well coordinated. Like, it's supposed to look like this goofy bit, but then all of a sudden I'm like, that's insane to figure out.
yeah.
To figure out all the beats.
Well, these guys, they know how to work.
Yeah.
They know how to work. They hammer at things.
Yeah.
And teaching them magic, as I did, you just don't get better students at anything.
Oh,
And
that's
they
crazy.
will do anything. I mean, anything. You tell them, this is what we're going to strap you into. This is how uncomfortable you'll be. And their reaction is, okay, where do I step? They will go head first into a hurricane, no hesitation.
It's awesome.
Seems great. That's
And they follow my rules of showbiz morality. They will not do anything that jeopardizes them, but they get hurt all the time, every second. They're not afraid to be hurt. They don't want to be injured.
Right.
And when you see 90 Degrees, you will go, Jesus Christ. I mean, I am sure everybody on this podcast would do everything they do for a TV show and for the gag,
Sure.
but you wouldn't like it.
No.
Yeah, Jonathan spends 6 hours upside down, soaked in cold soup.
Oh. Well, even like the lodge that he sends his neck all the way up the stairwell thing. I just was like that.
He does what?
The material where he I don't how
Oh,
much
yeah.
you're spoiling, but
Oh, yeah.
he runs his neck through a series of obstacles.
Yeah, that can't be done with kindness.
No, no matter what the material is, that can't be. And also you're like, well, they have to also rehearse that.
Yeah.
That's not the first time that's happened. So
He's already got a dent right there.
yeah, there's learnings, right? So
Yeah.
But I will tell you, few things make me laugh harder than Henry, who's the big guy,
yes.
uncomfortable on stage killing time.
Yeah.
For me, if he just stood in the middle of the stage exasperated and tried to accomplish a task, I'd be thrilled to pieces. As John Cleese said to me, nothing is funnier than a large man yelling. John Cleese knows that. I know
Yeah.
that. Sam Kennison knows that. Henry knows that. So I cannot recommend enough that you watch the Goes Wrong show on Amazon Prime, and then write me a thank you note because you will.
Yeah.
And if you want to watch my favorite one first, watch 90 Degrees, but I think you should build up to it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree that you should build up to it.
Yeah, because when you watch 90 Degrees, you will blow it out. Your comedy will just be blown out. I wanted to say, what do I want to say? Oh yeah, I also watched Slow Burn
Right.
On Epics, and it's all about Watergate. And boy, what we're living through now, the Watergate guys, they did nothing wrong.
Comparatively, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is stuff that would not be found out in a congressional hearing. This is all stuff that Donald Trump would give in a campaign speech.
Yeah. I think you're right.
He would just say it in the campaign speech. Yeah, I hired these burglars to break into the Watergate. You'd be surprised what they found out from those psychiatry records, and we're hoping we can get them to break in again. He would say that.
Yeah.
And then everybody would say, oh, by the way, that's impeachable. And he would say, so what?
And then he'd be right.
Yeah. But I also did some minor arithmetic and realized that Nixon was 3 years younger than I am now when he resigned.
Oh, geez.
And Nixon seemed old when he resigned,
Yes,
Right.
you did.
and I'm older. And I've lost a lot of weight, so I put on my show shirt to do the Zabrecky show,
Yeah.
and I put up the neck, and the neck has at least 2 inches too big, and I felt like Nixon with phlebitis debating Kennedy. So that's the way we are. What do you guys watch? Oh yeah,
Oh, we went to the Piff show. Do you want to talk about Piff?
yeah. Piff's doing Zoom shows. You should check those out. Do you know what they need to find? Piff Zoom show will find it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, watchpiff.com is the website there.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really
It's
enjoyed
really
it.
good. Yeah, really good. Piff's trying to embrace. Piff did his first Zoom show and said he'd lost his will to live.
Right.
Yeah.
He hated it. He said it was soul draining and miserable. And now he's done a bunch of them, and he's getting good at them, and he's enjoying them.
He's really funny.
Yeah.
And the leaning into the
Very hard
circumstances for
worker.
what they are. The thing is, he's done a lot of hard work and showcases none of the hard work. He just leans into the failings of whatever is happening outside that hard work.
Yeah.
So like to get someone from a breakout room onto an iPad that's attached to the top of a night mannequin so that you can actually show someone from the audience a deck of cards that the audience can't see. The effort that goes into that is insane. And then the fact that that's not flawless is just something he leans into completely. And it's really so amusing.
And Jade is wonderful.
Yes.
In his live show, she's not there on stage the whole time.
Right.
Here she's live, she's with him all the time, and it's really funny.
And she's playing straight man. She's exasperated with him. And it really just highlights it really is like watching a great like sketch, but it's really happening. And I just think it's like he figured out a lot of stuff that I think other people who are doing Zoom shows have not figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the issue for last night's show was that it didn't feel as live as I would like, and I think Piff has enough that really seems live.
You're talking about Zabrecky.
Yeah, Zabrecky. Yeah, when I saw Zabrecky show, I really enjoyed it, but it could have been a TV special.
It felt to me like a CD-ROM.
Yeah, that's a very good description.
Yeah, we did our spot, and I don't know, trying to balance between interacting with the Zoom audience and just doing stuff that's funny is a really difficult thing, because
Very
I
tough.
find asking the audience to wave their hands and applaud and leave their sound up or not leave it up, all of it pisses me off. Either way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you want to have it feel live and interact, but you don't want to go to people in their kitchen eating while they're.
Right. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to figure that out.
And Piff's kind of got it. He's got it in the pocket.
Yeah. And I think, and you also had the advantage of you figured this out for television before Zoom. You figured out how to do the try this at home specials and all that
And those
stuff.
went well.
Yeah.
We thought about those hard.
Yeah.
And we're doing a Fallon coming up. We'll be doing over Zoom.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be sitting here performing for Jimmy Fallon, sitting at my computer.
That's weird.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And so I did we might air this, but I did a hour-long interview with Alan Alda.
Oh,
an interview
really?
with me. And the producer, I sure hope you never say anything like this, Godot or Reddy or Glenn. Guy came on and said, "Are you looking forward to talking to Alan Alda?" I said, "I sure am. We have a lot in common. I'm looking really forward to talking to him." And he said, "Well, he doesn't know very much about you at all, so this will be great." I was kind of
Yeah.
yeah. We did the West Wing. I wrote the lines he did, the lines he wrote about freedom of speech. Those are my lines that I wrote for him. And he sent me his book, autographed very nicely. And LOD said that when he was working on West Wing, he had talked to Alan Alda and they chatted about me. Now he doesn't. Oh, okay, we're ready to go. Let's go. So I said to him, "So you're interested in? I know you did a show on Richard Feynman." And he said, "Yes, I'm obsessed with Richard Feynman. I've read everything. I played him in a Broadway show. I played Richard Feynman in a play called QED." I said, "I know you did. I know you did that play, and I know you care a lot about Richard Feynman." He said, "Yes, I try to know everything about him." I paused and said, "I knew him well. He was a friend of mine. But you never got a chance to meet him. Is that right, Alan?" Motherfucker!
So we're gonna possibly air because you interviewed him. Is that what happened?
What's that?
I said we're gonna possibly air it here because you interviewed
Yeah.
him and not him interviewing you.
No, he did. I just told a lot of Feynman stories and talked
Okay.
about that. But I really felt, usually I go on a show, I feel like I'm just going to have a casual talk. When someone says in advance they don't know anything, you automatically feel like you've got to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
I want to
Right,
prove that
sure.
there's a reason to be on this show. It's like Larry King would brag about not reading the books. And
Right.
that makes people so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, what's so good about your book?
Yeah. Well, you thought Alan Alda asked to have you on his show.
Yeah,
That's the way that works.
yeah.
Oh, Alan Alda wants me on his show. And you get there and they go, "Oh no, Alan doesn't even know you're coming. We're just gonna, it'll be fine.
We
There's
did
two N's in your name, right?"
we did a thing for Access Hollywood where this young magician who was 12 years old, a 12-year-old magician, David Chan, I think David Chan or Chang was his name. And he was on to do magic for the Access Hollywood people. Very good, by the way, very good magician. Wonderful guy, James. And the surprise coming up was that Teller and I were going to pop on and say we've been watching him and he was great. It's going to be terrific. So the hosts are there, and the hosts, I think, were more interested in race than they were in who they had hidden on the Zoom call. So our video and our audio was hidden from James, and they were interviewing him. And they said to him, now I would have said, I bet you're hoping to go unfool us, right?
Yeah.
Because then he would have said, oh, yeah, fool us, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, Penn and Teller are here. Boom, good television. They said, I bet you love Shin Lim, which of course is okay because, of course, he loves Shin Lim. And Shin Lim won America's Got Talent and is arguably the hot magician right now, right?
Right.
He's the one going. That's perfectly okay. But also, I couldn't help but thinking it might have been because their last names were similar,
Oh,
Yeah.
similarly
Sure.
ethnic. Maybe he would mentor you, what they were saying. So when they came on, it said, we have a big surprise for you. And they
Yeah.
clicked us on, and I went, hey, we know Shin Lim.
Yeah.
And to his credit, he was properly showbizily impressed.
Sure.
He went, whoa, Penn and Teller, Penn and Teller, Penn and Teller. And we did
Oh,
the whole
good.
thing. But the hosts would be more excited if Shin Lim had come on.
We know you're a big Shin Lim fan. Here's Penn and Teller.
That's exactly what happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, ouch. Well, I've been watching the thing. I've come to a conclusion recently that the best show on TV is America's Funniest Home Videos.
Always has been.
Because
Yeah.
I can't think of another show that every half hour has 10 really good laughs.
And someone getting hit in the nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which leads us, of course, to the world's greatest invention is got to be the GoPro, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no,
you go
not
on-
anymore. It's just
Not anymore.
It's just everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video everything
But,
all
you
the time.
And that's
My-
wonderful.
And
My
people
wife
also
and
know
wife-
it says on the iPhone 12, if you're going to do something that might get you hit in the nuts, be sure to use the video.
Strap this to your dog. My
I
wife
think
can just
it's
watch
over.
that show on loop. She just put it on.
Yeah. And you don't even
She
need to
loves
turn the sound on.
No.
You don't need to speak the language.
No.
You can just turn the volume off and turn it on, and people sit and laugh. That's what I'm watching.
I also went in just because it's a lockdown. I mean, not a lockdown. It's a quarantine. I went finally to our TV and watched the 10 most popular music videos now.
Well,
Oh,
that's a
wow.
good idea.
Just wonder what was happening. I found out that every one of them has Drake in it. I also found out that you want to have really nice sneakers.
Oh, yes.
And diamonds are more important than gold now.
Oh, I'll have to update my collection.
You know, I just noticed this week there's an ad finally encouraging women to buy their own damn diamonds.
Oh, good thinking.
I'd never seen that. They weren't like, you have to get married. Now you get this diamond. No, this was, you're cool. Why don't you get yourself a diamond?
Good idea.
God, what?
There was also a young woman. I think her name is Anne Marie, pop star,
Pop star?
who's very light complected and very light blonde hair. And when she came on, and they showed the first shot of her wearing a white sleeveless T-shirt, I thought that her skin looked really weird, like something was wrong with her. And then I realized it was very attractive, but very unusual. I realized she was the only person I'd seen in an hour and a half without tattoos.
Oh wow.
Most face tattoos. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the popular rap videos now. People have face tattoos.
Right.
And everybody has sleeves and everybody has, necks covered. And when she came on with nothing, I was like, whoa. It almost seemed like she was more naked.
Interesting. Fascinating.
And you watch this stuff and go, wow, it's exactly the same as 1968. X amount of it is really interesting and good, and X amount of it is just derivative shit.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Dylan and the Strawberry Alarm Clock and the Cow Sills are still working. Just they're all 19 years old and look different.
Yeah.
But
So you're gonna get a face tattoo to keep up with Shim?
I think I should get a face tattoo.
Yeah. Keep you guys on the edge. Before Fallon, I would do it before Fallon.
And I would have it be my name.
It sure would be.
Why don't you put my name on your forehead?
How about if it said, always forcing a card, motherfucker? So then I go and say, you have a free choice of card. It says on your forehead, like the guy who asked for permission to cover up his tattoo on his forehead that said murderer during his murder trial.
It's a tough day for a lawyer, right? I mean, you booked it, right? You got the gig.
Can we get some
Your argument comes down to a sponge.
X factor? I've got an idea during the whole trial. Can you just kind of hold your hand up on your forehead like this? Like Gilbert Gottfried.
Trying to be worried.
Oh, I feel so remorseful that people would think I did this. How could that be? He won't believe that I would do this. Why is your hand on your forehead, sir? Because I feel so wronged.
Be like the scene in Patriot where the guy's got his hand over the hole in the kayak.
Boy, Patriot, so good.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about a lot of good shows, and Alan Alda knows more about who I am. So our work here is done. And if you go socially distancing to the Grand Canyon on a camping trip, it's one of the rare instances where it might be a good idea to be 2 tents. No, to be in 2 tents, to share, to be in 2 tents. That was Penn Sunday School.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha cha cha.
And to our listening ears,
You become naked.
sang and round us rang the music of the spheres. That was Penn Sunday School.
I did that Debbie Gibson trick on Fool, wearing a full suit, but her happy birthday I was able to do it no pants.
That was Penn Sunday School.
I wonder if we just assume that no one's ever wearing pants yet, right?
That was Penn Sunday School.
And we love you.